Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Jacob. In this video, I want to give you 3 quick fire tips that will really help with your email marketing. Right now, this could be for affiliate marketing, this could be for your own products. Email marketing is not a topic I've spoken a ton about on this channel, but I will be more and more because it's a fundamental part of the follow-up of your marketing, of your sales process, and from day one, it's formed a pretty critical part of my business back to when I first started my blog and was capturing email leads over there, and then I spend quite a bit of time on Facebook and I capture leads from my Facebook group and the funnels I run and all that kind of stuff. Email follow-up is powerful to build a connection with your audience, to push people around your ecosystem. So you guys might have come to this video from an email, or you might join my Facebook group from an email, or you might go to a different funnel from an email. You can move people around your ecosystem. It's a great vehicle to do that, and then obviously to sell stuff, or to get people on the phone, or to pitch affiliate products, or whatever you want to do, right? It's a great communication method, and it's something that I'm always looking to improve on. So I wanted to bring you 3 quick fire tips that will help with your email marketing, okay? So before we dive into that, be sure to subscribe to the channel, check out the Super Affiliate Accelerator. There's a link in the description. That's the program I run on high-ticket affiliate marketing. Click the bell icon so you get notified whenever I drop a new video. Give the video a like if you get any value from it, and leave any questions or comments below. And I'll do my best to get back to you if there's anything you're unsure on. Let's dive into these 3 quick fire tips. The first one is actually a message I heard pretty recently off a guy in the email marketing space that I respect immensely. Immensely. I actually recently joined his group coaching program, dude by the name of Ian Stanley. And this first tip is about the ultimate goal with your email marketing. Right now, in his opinion, and it makes absolute sense to me, is that the goal is to make the subject line, which is actually a critically important piece of getting people to open your email for obvious reasons, which we'll talk about in a second. The goal is to actually make that obsolete. You want people to open your emails just because they're from you. That should be the goal, right? Because they know that there's going to be value. They know that it's going to be a good read. They know that the offers you put in front of them are going to be good and will actually help them because you have integrity in what you promote, all those kind of things. So that's the first tip, is get that goal in your mind that you're working towards making the subject line completely redundant, and that you want people opening them just because they're your emails. That's the level of rapport and trust and relationship that you want to build to with your email list to maximize the effectiveness of it as a follow-up method, to do all those things that I spoke about before, to move people around your ecosystem, to sell people stuff, to get the maximum ROI out of that asset. Okay, so that's an interesting perspective that I heard recently, and I think it's a great mindset to tackle your email marketing with, because it will mean that you'll really approach it with some care, and you'll really think it through, and you won't just kind of blast things out, right? So that's the first one. The second tip, which kind of goes hand in hand in that, is while you're working towards that goal of making the subject line redundant, your subject lines need to be good, right? And the biggest asset you've got here with your subject lines is curiosity, right? Because if people don't open your email, they can never read your email, and they can never click on the link or do whatever it is that you're telling them to do, which we can talk about in a second. But curiosity is going to be your biggest friend here. If there's nothing that kind of sparks the curiosity of your audience in the subject line, why would they open it? It can be how-to based. Like it can tell them what the payoff will be for them, like how to something, but try integrate some curiosity into that structure, like some kind of unique proposition for them, right? using different words and coming up with different structures and phrases that might spark their interest, so you can stand out in their inbox, right? Because people get so many emails. If there's not a curiosity element to that subject line, it's going to be hard for you to get them to open it. So really put a lot of time into thinking about your subject line. Some good ways to, as I said, create curiosity is to come up with some kind of unique selling propositions, or to be a little bit, alternative, or kind of play to the contrary. 3 tips to guarantee you fail, or things that are on the opposite, or like debunking things that are commonly held beliefs that you believe aren't to be true. Everyone's saying this, but this is actually the truth. Right? When you go the opposite side, when you play the opposite side of the equation, you're generating curiosity that way. Right? That's another way to do it. So play around with that with your subject lines, and really focus on, is there enough curiosity in this? That is going to get people to open it, because once they open it, then you can actually deliver the value, or give the call to action, or both, or tell the story, or whatever, right? But if they never open it, you never get the chance to do that, okay? And the third tip, we might actually we'll go 4 here. We'll do a bonus one. The third tip, which is another thing that I learned off Ian, is he says, you've really, really got to nail that first line of the email, right? A lot of people bounce when they first open the email. So really, really focus on that first line, right? And try integrate something about them, or a question, or an imagine statement. Imagine this scenario, imagine if, or ask them a question, because our brains really struggle not to answer. I don't know the actual psychology behind it, but it's pretty hard for us not to at least answer a question in our head. So if the first line's a question, that can really help. Make it about them, right? Keep that curiosity going. Don't close that loop immediately that you might have opened in the subject line, but really, really nail that first line. Because if you sell them on reading the second line, then you kind of grab them and you can pull them through the email down to whatever your call to action is at the bottom of the email. Okay, so put a lot of time into your subject line, and put a lot of time into that first line in the email, or at least be really conscious of what you're saying in those 2 things. And that's really going to help with your open rates initially, and then your click-through rates. Because if you think about, typically your call to actions at the bottom of the email, or maybe halfway through the email, and you've got to pull people through to that point. They might be scrolling on their phone, and just because they open it doesn't mean they're going to get to the call to action. So you've got to pull them through, and that first line is the starting point of that once they've opened the email. So put the time and the effort into that. And then the 4th tip, this can call it a bonus tip, is with your call to action, most people will just do links. They'll say, go watch this thing, or go buy this thing, or go register for this thing, or whatever. Mix it up and integrate some replies. Okay, so rather than the call to action being click on this link, ask people to reply to you. Ask them questions. Ask for their feedback, right? This is going to do a couple of things. When your email provider sees that people are responding, it's going to help with deliverability. It's going to build more of a 2-way dialogue with your audience. A lot of people view email as just kind of blasting out and like a 1-way dialogue, but start to view it as a 2-way dialogue between you and your audience. And I think that'll change your mindset and your perspective around email marketing, and it'll help with that thing that we spoke about at the very, very start, which is, you want people to read it just because it's you. And if they feel like it's a 2-way dialogue, if they feel like it's a communication between 2 people, not just you talking at them, I think that really, really, really helps achieve that goal. And you'll start to get a feel with who's actually engaged. There might be people who read and click and open your emails, who you can start a conversation with, and you could get on the phone with them. You get to know your audience better. You could sell them a higher ticket product. You can do research. You can craft your offers around feedback from people. You can have exclusive offers only for people who reply, adding in some layers of qualification, right? All these kind of things. all of that is geared towards increasing the responsiveness of your list, improving the relationship with your list, going back to that first goal that we spoke about. So there's a couple of tips for you. Initially it was going to be 3. We ended up doing 4. Be sure to integrate those into your email marketing. Some of those are from a perspective, a mindset around email marketing that I think will really help you out. And then there's some more tactical stuff in there as well. But be sure to layer that stuff into your email marketing. I'll be talking more and more about this on the channel because it's not something I've spoken about a ton. More recently, I've been more focused on Facebook, but it's always been a pretty fundamental part of my online business. It's just not something I've spoken about a ton. So I want to start to weave a bit more email marketing related content into these videos as well. If that's something that is of interest to you, let me know in the comments. Other than that, give that stuff a go. Check out the Super Affiliate Accelerator. Subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Cheers.